Thanks very much for joining me. Let me be frank. I have no idea what is in the Epstein files, who is in the Epstein files, or whether or not these files actually even exist. But this I do know. Jeffrey Epstein was an extremely wealthy guy who hung out with some of the wealthiest and most powerful people in our country and the world, including Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, multiple billionaires, and Donald Trump. And this I also know. During his presidential campaign, Donald Trump said very clearly that he would release the Epstein files. My response, Mr. President, do it. Do what you promised the American people you would do, and stop trying to deflect attention away from what you promised. Be transparent the way you promised you would be. Tell the truth like you promised. Because hiding whatever he's hiding with the Epstein files is not the first time, to say the least, that he has lied to the American people. He promised that his big, beautiful bill wouldn't touch Medicaid. Instead, the bill is going to take away Medicaid from 17 million Americans. Why is he slashing Medicaid? So he can give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1% and $900 billion in tax breaks to the corporate world. In other words, he is making his very rich friends much richer while making life harder for working families. But that is not all. Trump is attacking every single day the very foundations of American democracy.
And young women
he is usurping the responsibilities of Congress and is illegally refusing to allocate the money that Congress appropriated to education, housing, and other basic needs. He is ignoring court decisions that he doesn't like and attacking universities who are teaching courses he doesn't like. He's going after law firms that represent his clients he doesn't like. Further, he doesn't like a free press, and he doesn't want criticism. He has sued ABC, Meta, The Wall Street Journal, and CBS, and he has cut funding for PBS and NPR. Enough is enough. Too many Americans have fought and died to defend freedom and democracy, to defend the First Amendment and the right to dissent. That is what makes America great. Whether Donald Trump likes it or not, we are and will remain a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, not a country run by a bunch of billionaire oligarchs who want to move this country to an authoritarian society. Thank you.
The Epstein files. Two words that had shaken American politics in 2025. Promises made, promises broken. And now a full-scale political war erupting in Washington. From Bernie Sanders' viral call-out to congressional subpoenas, this story has everything: wealth, power, conspiracy theories, and the question everyone's asking: what is Donald Trump really hiding? I'm about to break down the complete timeline of this controversy, the key players involved, and why this story refuses to die.
100 vulnerable teenagers and young women trapped in his depraved web.
First, let's establish
Tonight, the Epstein files, the latest on who knew what in the biggest sex trafficking ring in history.
2019 while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking
His elite
charges.
circle of the wealthy and powerful on notice as thousands of damning new court documents are unsealed.
They will contain the names of people associated with
Britain's Prince Andrew, multiple billionaires,
His elite circle of the wealthy and powerful on notice as thousands of damning new court documents are unsealed.
They will contain the names of people associated with Jeff.
The so-called Epstein files aren't just one document. They're a collection of FBI records, court documents, flight logs, financial records, and communication data that federal investigators collected during their investigation. The question isn't whether these files exist, it's who has access to them and what they contain. During his 2024 presidential campaign, Donald Trump made a very specific promise to the American people. He said, and I quote, that he would release the Epstein files if elected president. This wasn't a casual mention. He repeated this promise multiple times at rallies and in interviews. Trump positioned himself as the transparency candidate, claiming he had nothing to hide and that the American people deserved to know the truth. His supporters rallied around this promise, believing it would expose corruption among the political elite. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. In July 2025, just months after taking office, the Department of Justice released a memo that shocked everyone. The memo stated that after an exhaustive review, they found no evidence of the comprehensive client list that conspiracy theories had suggested existed. Even more explosive was a Wall Street Journal report claiming that Trump had been personally briefed by Attorney General Pam Bondi in May 20. According to the report, Bondi informed Trump that his name appeared multiple times in some Epstein-related document. The White House immediately pushed back against this reporting, but the damage was done. This is where Senator Bernie Sanders entered the conversation with a video that has since gone massively viral. Sanders, known for his direct speaking style, didn't pull any punches. In his response, Sanders made several key points that resonated with millions of Americans. First, he emphasized that Trump made a clear, specific promise to the American people during his campaign. Sanders argued that breaking this promise wasn't just political maneuvering, it was a betrayal of democratic transparency. But Sanders went much deeper than just the Epstein files. He connected this broken promise to what he sees as a pattern of Trump's lies to the American people. Sanders brought up Trump's promises about health care, specifically his claim that his policies wouldn't touch Medicaid. According to Sanders, Trump's administration is planning to cut Medicaid for 17 million Americans, while simultaneously providing massive tax breaks to the wealthiest 1% and corporations. Sanders framed this as Trump protecting his very rich friends while making life harder for working families. The most powerful part of Sanders' message wasn't just about transparency, it was about democracy itself. Sanders accused Trump of attacking the foundations of American democracy by ignoring court decisions, targeting universities, going after law firms, and suing major media outlets like ABC, Meta, The Wall Street Journal, and CBS. The story doesn't end with Sanders' viral video. In August 2025, something unprecedented happened. The Republican-led House Oversight Committee issued subpoenas demanding Epstein-related documents from multiple sources. Think about this for a moment. Republicans in Congress are essentially pressuring their own president to release these documents. The committee issued subpoenas to the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, and even former officials including Bill and Hillary Clinton. This creates a fascinating political dynamic. Trump's own party is putting him in an impossible position. If he releases the documents, he potentially exposes himself and others to scrutiny. If he continues to withhold them, he validates every criticism about broken promises and lack of transparency. The committee's actions suggest that even within Republican ranks, there's pressure to follow through on Trump's campaign promise. This isn't just about Epstein anymore. It's about political credibility and whether campaign promises mean anything. So what does all of this really mean? This controversy highlights several critical issues in American politics today. First, there's the question of political accountability. When politicians make specific promises during campaigns, should they be legally or politically bound to fulfill them? Trump's supporters argue that national security and legal constraints prevent full disclosure. His critics say he never intended to keep the promise in the first place. Second, this situation reveals the power of conspiracy theories in modern politics. The idea of a comprehensive client list captured public imagination, but the DOJ's review suggests this may have been more fiction than fact. Yet the political damage from conspiracy theories can be very real. Third, we're seeing how transparency promises can become political weapons. Sanders and other Democrats are using Trump's broken promise to attack his credibility on multiple fronts. Meanwhile, Trump's allies argue that the focus should be on actual policy achievements rather than controversial documents. The Epstein files controversy isn't going away anytime soon. With congressional subpoenas outstanding, ongoing legal battles, and continued public pressure, 2025 could be the year we finally get some answers, or at least understand why we can't get them. What we know for certain is that this case has exposed deep divisions about transparency, accountability, and truth in American politics. Whether you support Trump or oppose him, the handling of this issue will likely define how we view political promises and democratic accountability for years to come. The real question isn't just what's in these files, it's what this entire controversy tells us about power, secrecy, and democracy in America? Are we a nation where the powerful are held accountable, or where political promises are just campaign tools to be discarded after Election Day? What do you think? Should all government files related to Epstein be released regardless of who might be implicated? Is transparency worth the potential damage to reputations and relationships? Or are there legitimate reasons to keep some information classified? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you understand this complex story, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the stories that matter. I'll see you in the next video.